Welcome to page 2 of section 5.1 handout. Please pause the video, read property 2 and the note, and then start the video up again. Okay, we're going to talk about this example in which we're going to do it two different ways. We're told the measures of two supplementary angles are in the ratio 2 to 7. Find the measure of each angle using the two methods of example 7 in the textbook. So we're going to start with method 1. Okay, we are told that we have two supplementary angles. So we're going to let x equal the first supplementary angle, or just the first angle. And how would we get the second one? Well, we know they're supplementary, so they must add to 180 degrees. So if I told you that the first angle measured 80, you'd tell me subtract that from 180 and the other would measure 100. So you take 180 minus the measure of the angle. Well, that's what we're going to do here. We're going to say 180 minus the measure of the angle would be the second angle. So that when we add them together, 180 minus x and x, we get 180. So these are the two different angle measures. I should really put measure there. Okay, so now we know they're in a ratio of 2 to 7, so I can go ahead and write 2 over 7. We know that can be written in fraction form. And then the first angle is x, and the second angle is 180 minus x. So then we have a proportion that we can solve by cross multiplying. So we're going to have 2 times 180 minus x equals 7 times x. So we're going to use the distributive property here. So we get 2 times 180, that's 360, minus 2 times x gives us 2x, equals 7x. To solve this, we will add 2x to both sides. And we will get 360, 2x's drop out, equals 9x. Divide by 9, and we get that 40 equals x. So we know that the first angle measures 40 degrees, and the second one 180 minus 40. So let's just work that out on the side here. 180 minus 40 would be 140. So the angles measure 40 degrees and 140 degrees. Okay, so that is method 1. Let's try method 2. Okay, in method 2 here, we're going to say, since we're given the ratio of 2 to x, we're going to say let 2x equal the first angle's measure, and 7x equals the second angle's measure. Then we will add these two together because we know that these angles measure 180 degrees, which means when you add them together, you get 180. So then we have 9x here equals 180. We divide by 9 both sides, and we get that x equals 20. Now we have to be careful here that this is not one of the degree measures of the angle. In fact, instead, we have to put it in here to figure it out. So 2x would equal 2 times 20, or 40 degrees, and 7x would equal 7 times 20, or 140 degrees. So we get the same answer here. The angles measure 40 degrees and 140 degrees. Okay, so you can use whichever method you like. Now when we look down here at the next example, we read here that it says, the salaries of a school cook, custodian, and bus driver are in the ratio 2, 4, and 3. If their combined monthly salaries for November total $8,280, what is the monthly salary for each person? Well, we know here we're not going to be able to write a fraction, so we're going to have to do this using method 2. So we're going to say let 2x equal, whose salary is that? Well, the cook's. Cook's salary. 4x is going to equal the custodian's salary. And lastly, 3x will equal the bus driver's salary. Okay, so now we're told that if we combine them, which means add, the total will be 8,280. So we're going to add these all up. 2x, let's move this over a little bit, sorry about that. 2x plus 4x plus 3x, and that will equal 8,280. Then we add these up. 2 plus 4 is 6, plus 3 is 9. And then we're going to divide both sides by 9. And we're going to get that x equals, well, let's go off to the side and figure that out. 9 into 8280 would be 981, and then 18 goes twice, and then a 0. So 920. So that's nobody's salary. We have to multiply by 2. So the cook's salary, cook would be 920 times 2, which is going to be 1840. Okay, the custodian's salary is going to be 4 times 920, or let's see, custodian will be 3680. Okay, and lastly, the bus driver, we're going to multiply by, let's move this over a little bit, 920 times 3 gives us 0, 627. So we're going to put in, so here are our salaries, okay, for the cook, the custodian, the bus driver. That completes page 2, and we're done with handout section 5.1.